Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on this look as well as giving you my first impressions thoughts on the new Melt Cosmetics Rust palette. I really do enjoy the two palettes that I have from Melt, which are the Gemini and the Smoke Sessions. I believe I have a video using both of those, and if I do, I will go ahead and link it below in case you're interested in seeing some other Melt products in action. But if you want to see how I got this look and hear my first impressions thoughts on this palette, then just keep on watching. Alright, so we are going to jump into this. I want to just say, I know that there's so much going on in the world right now. My last few videos have been pre-recorded, so that's kind of why I haven't addressed this. So many things have happened. I actually want to do like a get ready with me so I can do like a life update with so many things. I hope that all of you guys are doing well during this and staying home if you can. You know, I have actually been not going to work because I had already planned to have some time off during this month for travel, which no longer happened. So anyway, I hope you guys are all safe. I figured I want to just keep on going like normal just because I think we can all agree we want some relief from everything that is in the media and everything that is going on. So I did pick up a new palette from Melt Cosmetics. I actually had seen it like posted somehow. I don't know if I saw it on Trendmood or just scrolling through Instagram, but as soon as it was available, I picked it up from their website. I want to say their website is incredible. I ordered this on the day they launched it. I don't know if it's available at the moment. I will link it down below, but I know that they did like a special pre-sale, I think, and I picked it up because I wanted to get it right away. There was free shipping with the palette, and I literally got the shipping notice the next day, and I actually ordered this, let me think. I think it was in the evening, probably around like 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern time. So that would have been like 3 or 4 o'clock Pacific. But I got the shipping notice the next day. So I think it was Monday last week that I ordered it. And then I received it on Friday the 20th. So it was very, very quick, especially for free shipping. So anyway, this is what the box looks like. It's really cute. I did open this just to make sure that the palette wasn't damaged. It is not, thank goodness. But let me take it out. So this is the beauty that I picked up. It is the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette. Now I know that they've had the Rust stack, which I believe has been pretty popular for their brand over the years, and now they have a palette. I have never tried their stacks. The only products I have tried are the Gemini, Smoke Sessions, and the Millennial Pinks, which the Millennial Pinks was awful. So I really hope that this is more like the Gemini and Smoke Sessions because I absolutely love those, and the colors in this are just stunning. So this is what the actual palette looks like. And then we have like a little plastic protective layer, and then this is the inside. These colors are honestly gorgeous. I mean, all of these, they're just beautiful. I like how there is a white shade and a very light shade, and then you have these like yellowy tones. I think this palette is gorgeous. I don't even know what look I want to do yet, but I'm very excited and very hopeful. So I think I'm going to try to zoom you guys in. I already have my face makeup done. I have the NARS Natural Radiant foundation on. Honestly, now that I've been using my Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer, it's not that it feels too heavy or anything. I used a very light amount. I just love that. So if you're interested in that video, I will link it down below. I did a first impressions on the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer and the tinted moisturizer. So anyway, let me zoom you guys in as much as I can without being totally out of frame. So I do have my lids primed with the Laura Mercier concealer. That is, anytime I'm testing a palette, I always do what I normally would do, and that is put a concealer on. So I'm gonna go ahead and, let me swatch this. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the shade Classic right here just to kind of set everything down. There is a really nice mirror in this palette, actually. Like, it is super clear. Let me just blend out the concealer to make sure there's no lines. Alright, and then I'm just going to take that Classic shade. There is Kick Up in the pan. Let me try to show you. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it. I don't know if you can see that, but there is Kick Up, so just keep that in mind if that's something that bothers you. Make sure that you do tap off the excess, because I just noticed that when I did this one, I didn't tap my brush off, and it did get like a little like not clumpy, but not very blended in here. I did have to kind of like smooth it out. This side I tapped off, and it does looks better. So as you can see, it is set down. I probably could add maybe just a little bit more. Okay, so the lids are set down. That shade, honestly, since I am so fair, I mean, it did brighten, I think, a little bit, but it's, you know, it doesn't really show up that much on me. It is a really light shade. So now what I want to do, I really want to do like a darker, like grungy look. So let me go ahead, and we're going to take a fluffy crease brush. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm debating on going in with either Antique or Rubbish. I kind of want to go in with Rubbish, which is funny because on camera I feel like it's pulling a little more like greeny, but in person it does look more brown. So maybe what I'll do is I'm going to go in with Rubbish and then maybe blend the edges out with Antique if I need to. So there's kick up in this pan as well. So just tap off the brush. And let me try to be as close as I can. So I'm just going to go ahead and lightly put that in the crease. That is super pigmented. Always, for some reason on camera, this spot on my eye looks like it's missing shadow, but in person it really doesn't look like that. So, I don't know, we got that down. I'm gonna do the other eye as well. Okay, so here's what that color is looking like. Again, I know right here it kind of looks weird on camera, but like I said, in person, it doesn't look like that. So, I don't know why it does that. What I do want to do is I actually want to take like a smaller, maybe something like this, with that Antique shade, this one, and maybe just kind of very lightly blend. There is definitely kick up in every shade I've used so far. There's kick up, a decent amount of it too. So I'm just going to coat the brush and tap off any excess, and I'm just going to lightly take this along the edge, just for blending purposes, just to soften out the edge. And I do want this look to be more smoky, so that's why, you know, this is not going to be like quite an everyday look. I mean, you definitely could if you want, but. Okay, so I don't think you're really going to be able to see that Antique shade too much because I really did just lightly go along the edges out here. But I do feel like it did help to like blend it out. So next what I want to go in with, I think I will go in with Mar, which is this shade right here. And I'm just going to use, it's funny because like I said, these shades are not showing up exactly how they look in the pan on camera. But what I'm going to do is take like a nice small crease brush. I don't want it to be fluffy like this one. I want it to be smaller so I can concentrate the shade more. I'm going to tap into that. Again, there's kick up, so if kick up is something that bothers you, this is not the palette for you at all, because there's definitely kick up. So I just have that coated on, and I'm going to just lightly tap that into the outer V just to deepen it up. And then I'm just gonna start dragging that into the actual crease. And don't worry too much about how the lid is looking, because obviously I'm going to cover that up. And I am going to go out and blend the edges. I'm just kind of packing on the color right now. I was kind of debating on whether I want to do like a halo eye, but I think I'm just going to stick with a normal look because I really don't want it to get messed up. Alright, so I think this one I made a little bit more intense, so let me just add a little bit more to this side to kind of even it out. Alright, now what I want to do is go back in with probably that, I think I'll go in with that Rubbish shade, which was the first shade we used in the crease, and I'm just going to kind of try to blend out the edges a bit, just because I don't want it to be harsh at all. So it's funny because like right here on camera it looks like there's like a distinct dark difference compared to the outer, but in person it really doesn't look like that. Like it looks more blended. So I don't know. This is that point in the look where it's like it looks like disaster and you're like, where is this actually going? But let's hope that it does turn out. Again, on this side it looks the same, like there's that harsh distinction, but it really doesn't look like that in person. Alright, I do want to go ahead and add my lid shade so that we can kind of tie the look together. So I'm going to swatch the three different like shimmery shades that are in here. So we have Tarnish, Redox, I'm going to show them to you, don't worry. So this Redox shade is definitely more chunky. I had experienced that with the Millennial Pinks as well. And then we have Ravage. Alright, it's not focusing that well. So this is Tarnish, Redox, which was chunkier, and then you have Ravage. I think I might go in with a combo of these two, like put this one all over and maybe add this for some lightness. So I'm gonna try it with a brush. Let me see, I have like a flat brush. So I think I will go in with Redox first. It is definitely, there's kick up, there's chunkiness. So just keep that in mind. I would say Tarnish and Ravage didn't do the chunky thing that this one's doing. So we will see how this actually applies. It's applying nicely. That is a really pretty, like, rusty looking shade. I'm not having any issues with, like I said, it is a little bit more like fallout and like chunkier, but I'm not having any issues with that on the actual lid, but I am more so like pressing first before I kind of drag the brush. I think that is a really pretty shade though, and I think it goes really well with these colors. I feel like on camera the look just looks insane, whereas in person I just feel like it doesn't look like that. I do want to note that, like, I just looked at my little desk thing that I use, and there's definitely fallout from that Redox shade from when I swatched it. So just keep that in mind. I am going to go ahead. I think this side needs a little bit more of that Mar shade we used, just kind of on the outer portion. I mean, in person it doesn't look like it does on camera, but for the sake of how it looks on camera, I want to make sure that it is like blended. And once I do my lower lash line, it's all gonna tie together. I'm gonna take just a tiny dapple of that Mar shade on this side too, just to kind of blend the shimmer shade. I'm debating on whether I even want to go in with that tarnish shade, because honestly, I just love how this shade is looking with these colors. I do want to go ahead and move on to the lower lash line just because it's looking insane. So I'm just going to take a pencil brush and I'll take that rubbish shade we used in the beginning in the crease and just kind of smoke that out on the lower lash line. I usually like to like wing it out and connect it, that way it has that like defined shape. Alright, I know this is looking intense, but then I want to take the Mar shade we used on like a little bit more of a fluffier, small precision brush and just kind of focus this on the outer portion of the lower lash line and connecting it to the top. And once I get most of the product off, I will drag it all the way in, but most of the product is being focused in the outer portion of the lower lash line. Alright, so this is definitely a smoky, like grungy look for sure. Like I said, this is not something I would wear to like the office, but I always do like everyday kind of looks, so I wanted to test it out, you know, test out doing something a little bit different. I'm kind of just blending this area. Like I said, on camera it looks like there's like this harsh distinction, but in person I don't see it like that. It looks a lot more blended, so I don't really know why on camera it's doing that. The one thing I will say is this palette doesn't really have like a nice inner corner shade. I mean, you could go in with the shade Classic. Let me see how that looks. I mean, yeah, it brightens, but honestly, I would kind of prefer something different, I guess. But I will put this in the inner corner, and I might go ahead and grab one of my highlights and maybe put that on the inner corner. So let me go grab one. Alright, so I went ahead and grabbed my Jaclyn Cosmetics Accent Light palette, and I'm just going to pick a color from here. Probably, I'll go in with Iced, which is this one, and I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner with my finger. That definitely added some more brightness. I do also want to go ahead and do my brow bone, but what I'll do, like I did with the inner corner, is first I will go in with the shade Classic from here to brighten, and then I will go ahead and pop some of the shimmer from the highlight. I did bring my shadows pretty high up, so like there's not a ton of space, but I'm going to take that same Iced shade from the Jaclyn palette and just kind of pop that right in the top, like right where the arch is, just to add some, like, you know, some shine. Okay, so here's what the eyes are looking like. Like I said, on camera it does look a little bit weird in that spot, but in person, like I said, it really doesn't look like that, and I don't know what else to do to make it look better on camera, because as you see, even when I'm trying to blend it, it still has that harshness. But like I said, in person it just doesn't look like that. So I don't know, trying my best here. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with how everything looks. It is definitely, like I said, not like your everyday makeup. I mean, you could, but like I said, it's not something I would personally wear to like my office job. I'm just kind of taking there's no product on this. I'm just kind of blending everything out in the viewfinder so I can see how it looks on camera. I think that looks a little bit better. I really do like that shimmery shade that I used, which was this one. I also think this one is a really beautiful shade as well, so I'll have to do another look using that one. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and pop on my eyeliner and mascara, and I do have a lip that I kind of want to try. I just don't know if it's gonna look right with it. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll kind of wrap up my thoughts on this palette, my initial thoughts. Alright, so this is the finished look. I did go in with my Pat McGrath Los Angeles lipstick. I don't know if it's really the perfect lipstick for this eye look, and I was going to try to use Jeffree Star Scorpio, but that was definitely not going to do it. So yeah, this is the finished look. Overall, I'm happy with how it turned out. I think this palette did work a lot better than the Millennial Pinks did for me. I did not even end up posting my video on the Millennial Pinks just because I hated the way the footage turned out and the way the palette was working. Ended up returning that one right away. So far, I feel like I do want to keep this palette. I think it worked nicely. It is definitely more of like a going out palette for me versus like an everyday, just because majority of the shades are deeper. Now, I kind of do want to try to see if I can get like a nice everyday look out of this, so I will definitely have to do more videos using this palette. But my first impressions overall is that I do enjoy this palette. I do like the way the shadows turned out. It is a really nice like grungy look. Overall, I really do like it. So first impressions are good. I do want to make sure that you guys are aware that, like I was mentioning throughout the tutorial, there is kick up in these shadows. Pretty much every shade I used, there was kick up, so just be mindful of that. Go in lightly, tap off, and kind of just make sure that you are noting the excess and the kick up. So if kick up is something that bothers you, then probably just stay away from this palette. I never tried the Rust Stack, so I don't know how it compares in that regard. But overall, so far, I enjoy this palette. I think the quality is similar to like the Gemini and not like the Millennial Pinks. The only shade I will say that kind of reminded me of a shade from the Millennial Pinks was the Redox shade, but this one was much easier to work with. One of the shades in the Millennial Pinks palette was like so chunky and clumpy that it was hard to even work with, whereas this one, I had no issues working with it, even though it was like a little bit more chunkier. And by chunky, I mean that like when I rubbed my finger in it or the brush, it just has more like, I guess it's just more kick up that kind of like chunks up because it is like a metallic shade. But as you can see, it went on the lid really nicely. I think it is a gorgeous, like, rusty shade. I absolutely love it. I do want to, like I said, I want to try to maybe do like a lighter look one day, and then maybe even do like a deeper one using like more of these shades. So you'll have to let me know if you want to see more looks using this palette. I'll probably do them anyway because I have the palette, so I might as well. Anyway guys, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and the first impressions. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe before you go so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!